Hey, hello students. Okay, I'm here again in front of you to discuss about the ninth standard, second chapter. We are already discussing about this one, right? Is matter around us pure or not? Okay. So what we discussed in the last class is nothing but the fractional distillation. Okay. In that one, we separated the air, the components of the air. You may be remembered how the fractional distillation we did. We compressed the air, and then the air is converted to the liquid. Then we, depending upon its boiling point, we separated argon, oxygen, and nitrogen. So, right. So we discussed about those all things in the last class. So in this class, we are going to discuss about the separation of the components of the air by this experiment. Means how we can separate the components of the air by the experimental arrangement. So, right. So it is the experimental arrangement. You can check once again. So how it works here, we'll discuss right now. So, right. It is a filter paper. Filter paper means whatever the things will be there in the air that can be filtered by the help of the filter paper, right? That filter paper is connected to this chamber. This is called as the air pressure chamber, right? So means when the air, after the filtration, when the air enter into this container or this chamber, right? When the air enter into this chamber, what is the work of this chamber? So, right, air under pressure. By the help of these two things, what happens means the air is pushed or pressed in a pressure, right? When the air is undertaken under the pressure, we know that the molecules of the air, they are very far from each other compared to the liquid and solid, right? When we are applying the pressure to this air, means what we are doing, we are bringing the molecules of the air, how? We are bringing them closer. So, right, then they will come closer after the air pressure. So, right, when they come close to the particles of the liquid, so, right, then the air will be converted to liquid. We know that one very easily, right? We already did that one. Heat, state of the matter, how it is changed? Solid, liquid, gas. Cool, reverse it will be there. Okay, gas, liquid, solid. So means simple. Even we discussed about the CNG also. You again remember one more. CNG, the compressed natural gas. So means the natural gas is compressed into such an extent that the gas is converted to the liquid state. So, right. So in the same manner, in this chamber, after the filtration of the air into this chamber, what happens means the air is taken under the pressure, and now as a result, when the air is taken under the pressure, we know that what will happen, the temperature of the air is going to be raised, right? How? You do this experiment in the home. Take a metal rod, right? Apply the pressure on that metal rod, bend it, right? When the metal rod is bended, the area where it is bent, you just touch and feel, it is hot. When you are applying the pressure to the air, even the air also gets hot. So simple, the air under pressure gets hotter, and this hot air is taken into this chamber, okay? Or even we can call this chamber as a freezing point, okay? So what happens means, what we are sending in this chamber, nothing but the freezing cold air, cold water is sending into this pipeline, right? This pipeline has the which water? It has the freezing cold water, means the water is just get in the solid state. The freezing water means it is already freezed. That water is sent into this pipeline. So the air will enter into this chamber in this form, right? The pipe is closed. That water will not mix with the air. So, right. So air will enter into this chamber. How this chamber is? This chamber is due to the freezing cold air. This chamber is cool, right? It has a cooling effect. The hot air is entering into this chamber, means hot air will become cool in this chamber. So from this side the water is entering, and from this side the water is getting out. Why the need of water is getting out means, because when the hot air is entering into this chamber, the hotness of the air is absorbed by this water, and as a result the air becomes cool, and a little bit the water becomes hot. That is the reason a proper water should be flowed continuously. The freezing water should be entered, and whatever the water remaining is there, that should be get out. Means the air, the hot air is converted into the cool air by this special chamber. Okay. So by this chamber, we are converting or we are taking the hot air into the cool air. Means here, in result, the hot air is now converted into the cold compressed air. Right? Already the air which is entered here, we called as a compressed air. Means the air which is entering here is not only the hot air, which is the name of the air is there, hot compressed air, you can say like that also. The hot compressed air enter into the chamber and as a result it becomes cooled compressed air. Right? Are you understanding? Okay. The cooled compressed air is now entering into one more a chamber called as the separator. So what we are separating? Simple. We are separating the components of the air. Which components does the air contain? Air contains oxygen. Right? Air contains argon. Air contains carbon dioxide. Again, air contains nitrogen. So these are the components of the air. Means how we can separate now one by one. I will take in a series manner how they are separating in that manner only. First carbon dioxide, right? Then after nitrogen, then after argon, then finally of the oxygen. Right? So now in the first separated chamber, how many components of the air are? There are the 4 components of the air which you are separating in this chamber. So these all components of the air, they are mixed with each other. Right? They are the mixtures. Now we want to separate each of them single form. Means the first gas which is separating from the air is that is called as the carbon dioxide. Which air is getting or which component of the air is getting separated first? First getting separated the carbon dioxide in the chamber of the separator. Which air is entering into the chamber? That is the cold compressed air. Remember, the air entering into the chamber is the cold compressed air, and in the separator what happens means the compressed is nothing but the air is in the form of the liquid. As a result, now after the compression, the carbon dioxide is taken out in the form of the dry ice. Why, sir? It is not becoming liquid. You can ask the question. Why? Carbon dioxide is not converting into liquid after the compression. We know that the dry carbon dioxide is also called as the dry ice. The carbon dioxide in the dry form is called as the dry ice, and this dry ice is the best example of the process of sublimation. We already know this one. We discussed what is sublimation, the process in which solid convert directly to the gas and gas convert directly to the solid without passing through the state of the liquid. Means here, after compression of the carbon dioxide gas, the carbon dioxide gas will not convert to the liquid state. It will directly convert it to the solid state because it holds or it satisfies the condition of the sublimation process. So, right? So due to the pressure, what happens means the first component of the air is separated is carbon dioxide out as the dry ice. Who separated the first component? Now the carbon dioxide is separated. Then who are remaining? The still 3 components of the air are remaining, which are nitrogen, argon, oxygen. Around, we know that around 70% of our air is nitrogen. How much percentage? 70% of our air is nitrogen only. Right? So now the remaining air, the carbon dioxide separated, now the remaining mixture of the air enter into this chamber. So now this is called as the expansion jet. Right? Expansion jet, and which air is entering into this chamber? That air is called as the liquid air because of the compression changed the air into the liquid state. But only one component is not changed to liquid state, is the carbon dioxide, because it will directly convert to the solid state. Now the liquid air is entered into this chamber. This is called as a fractional distillation column. Remember one more time how we are distillated in the fractional distillation. In the fractional distillation, we separated the 3 components of the air in which the carbon dioxide is not mentioned, that one. Just see the last chapter or the last class, sorry, not last chapter. You see the last class. In the last class, we discussed about the fractional distillation method, the separation of nitrogen, argon and oxygen. So in the fractional distillation, the 2 again components are get separated, which are nitrogen out, argon out. The liquid air enter into this column, this called as the fractional distillation column. In the fractional distillation column, which gas are getting separated? The gas are nitrogen and the argon, they get out. The remaining gases now, which are separated now again, nitrogen, argon also separated. Which is remaining now? Only the oxygen is remaining. Now the oxygen is entered into this chamber. So right, the oxygen also get separated. Oxygen separate from nitrogen is taken into one tube, argon is taken into another tube. Carbon dioxide is already separated. So means we separated all the four components of the air. As a result, we say that we are separated the mixture, the components of the air. By this method or by this experiment, we can separate all the components of the air. I hope you understood. Okay. Remember one more time what I said and see one more time how the figure look like. You can understand by each of the column what is the function is there. This column, what is the function of this column? The air is taken under the pressure. This column, the hot air is get cooled. In this column, the carbon dioxide is getting separated in the form of the dry ice. In this column, what is happening? The nitrogen and argon getting separated, and in this column, the liquid air is get separated. So this is the experimental arrangement of fractional distillation. For the examination point of view, this question may ask for 3 marks, right? So practice this diagram. Okay, it is very important for your examination. Now the crystallization process. Okay, the crystallization process is what? Okay, first one is it is used to remove the impurities from solid and purify it. The crystal means you can check that your house salt, okay, the rock salt you can call, which are in the big size. Those rock salts are the crystals. The diamond is a crystal. Means crystals nothing but how to identify either again the compounds are again divided into 2 forms called as a crystalline and amorphous. Amorphous means they are the powder form. Crystal means they are the crystals, right? Like the sugar is a crystal, the salt is a crystal. How to identify whether the given substance is a crystal or not? The qualities of the crystals are there. They shines in the presence of the sunlight, right? So the amorphous nothing but they are the powder form. Okay, so those powder forms are not going to shine. They are present in a powder. Which powder we are using for our face? So in the same powder form, some of the compounds are again present in the environment. So means crystal means nothing but they are shining in the presence of the sunlight. Means what the method of crystallization we are using, it is used to remove the impurities. Impurities nothing but the unwanted things from the solid and purify it. Means if you want to remove the unwanted things from the solid, you can use the process of the crystallization. Simple. Have you ever visited in the making or to see the making of the sugar in the factories, the sugar factories? Okay, so there you can see that the sugarcane is crushed, right, with the crusher, and the juice is taken out from the sugarcane. The juice again contains the sugar with the natural sugar, and by addition of some of the chemical components, what happens means which are the unwanted things are there in the sugar, that all get separated and the sugar gets solid. You go and visit to your nearest any of the factories you have means, so check there how they are prepared. Okay, means the impurities are getting removed. Those all impurities again, okay, they are thrown out of, and which the solid is there, and that is purified and that is supplied to the market for the purpose of the usage. So now second method is it is used to, or it separates a pure solid from a mixture in the form of the crystals. Mixture means again, whenever we say the mixture, remember the word chuda, right? Chuda has the curry leaves, it has the peanuts, it has the sheva, everything. So it's a mixture, means we can separate. How we can separate it? If a pure solid is there, the pure solid from the mixture in the form of the crystal, means which the pure solid is there, the pure solid can be converted in the form of the crystal. Pure solid, the solid should not be impure, that should be pure. That pure solid should be converted or shall be converted to the crystals, and the remaining will be, the impure solid will be remained as it is. So right, if you see means some of the stones are going to occur in the seashore. Go and visit any time the seashores. In the seashore, if you taken or if you take some of the area of the soil, means you can check that even they contain some of the crystalline form of the stones also, right? So those crystalline form of the source stone in the same manner. Why I am giving the example means you can understand how the crystals looks like, right? Which is the method it is used? It is used to separate, or it separates the pure solid from a mixture in the form of the crystals. The third application is this process is used in the purification of salt from seawater and separation of the crystals of the alum in the impure samples, which is the first you discuss about this one. This process helps in, or this process is used in the purification of salt from the seawater. From where the salt is getting? The salt is getting from the seawater. How the salt is getting? The salt is not getting in the form what we are consuming in our day-to-day life. Actually, the salt occurs in the seawater in the form of the rock salt. That rock salt is crushed, it is filtered, then it is taken into small grains, then only it is supplied to the market. Means actually the salt is present in the big rock forms. Okay. So means the crystallization process, how the salt is preparing actually. The dirtiness, the impurities present in the seawater that prepare the crystallization of the salt. The crystals will form there, and as a result means the process is used in the purification of the salt from the seawater. Means the seawater salt, it is the impure again, and the crystallization process is used to make the salt as the pure. Right, means it has some of the impurities, but in the purification process, we are using the process of the crystallization, means which is a pure solid that is separated, the impure will be separated, the pure is again filtered, it is supplied to the market. Simple. Okay. And even it is used to separation of the crystals of the alums from the impure samples. What is the alum? Alum is nothing but it is again a hydrated salt, one kind of the hydrated salt, or you can say it is one example of the salt. And even these crystals of the alums also separated from the impure samples. Impure nothing but the impurities will be there. The impurities are separated again by the alum, which is also one of the salt. Hence, how the crystallization process, it is better method than the process of the evaporation. How the crystallization is better than the evaporation? The evaporation, crystallization, both are used in separation. Okay, in the different conditions. The evaporation is the process in which the liquid converts into the gas without or below its boiling point. Okay, so below its boiling point, if the liquid is converting into the gases, means that process we called as evaporation. Then how the crystallization process is better than the process of evaporation? There are two conditions are there. First is solids decomposes. Right, solids, what they do? They decompose also. Some like the sugar. One example they taken, like the sugar, right, may get charred on heating to the dryness. Means what is the quality of the solid? Solid get decomposed. Simple. Like example is sugar, and that can be charred on heating whatever to the dryness. Means simply you maybe know that how the chakli is made, right? You may be you are very familiar with the eating of the chaklis or the caramel. We say the caramel. Okay, how the caramel is prepared? The caramel is prepared with the help of the sugar. The sugar syrup is made, and the sugar is heated into up to that one. It will not convert into the thick paste. Okay, so after that thick paste, if you stopped the heating of that one, means it will convert again into the solid thing. Okay, so that we call as the charred on heating to the dryness. Means whole it will be dried, and whatever the process will be, operation will be there, they are all going to be get evaporated. And the second is some impurities may remain even after filtration on evaporation. These contaminate the solid. Means the evaporation, in the process of the evaporation, even some amount of the impurities may remain. Means if you are using the evaporation process in the purification case, means even there is a chance of remaining of the impurities in the compounds, but in case of crystallization it is not possible. Means in the crystallization we can separate very completely from the impurities compared to the process of the evaporation. The reason the evaporation process is not better than the process of the crystallization. Means the process of crystallization is better method than the process of the evaporation because of these two conditions. If you are filtering by the process of the evaporation, even there is a chance of remaining of the impurities again in the compound. So this is the reason the crystallization process is used in the accurate purification of the substances. So now we are going to discuss about the water purification system in waterworks, right? So it is a very important for your annual, for your annual examination only, or even for half yearly also. So right, then even this method will help you to understand that how the water is purified in the waterworks, right? So first of all, there is a need of a reservoir. What is there? There is a need of a reservoir. What do you mean by reservoir? The reservoir is nothing but the area which has the water. Like the well is a reservoir, we can call, right? The dams, they are the reservoir. The rivers, they are the reservoir. This all comes under the reservoir. Just take an example of our area reservoir, like the Karanja Dam. We have the Karanja Dam, right? Now the Karanja Dam water is unfit for the drinking purposes, correct? It is unhealthy. If you are drinking the Karanja water directly, means without any purification process, then we can have the maximum problem what we discussed in the or what we studied already in the 8th standard. Okay, so to avoid from all those the bacterial or the microorganisms they may be present in the water, to avoid from all those things, what we need to do, we need to purify the water. Okay, right? Even there is a mixture of the many of the components like the salts, they will be mixed in the water. So the reason is we have to separate them. The purification method is very important. So means we need a reservoir compulsory. Okay, the reservoir water is taken into the first tank. It is we call as the first tank. It is the second tank, right? The reservoir water is taken into the first tank. The tank name is known as the sedimentation tank. Remember, the first tank name is the sedimentation tank. The reservoir pipeline is connected to the first tank, which is sedimentation. Sedimentation is nothing but to allow solids to settle down, right? Means we are taking the reservoir water directly into sedimentation tank. Now the water which we are taken into this tank, that water may contain some amount of the solids. They may contain amount of the solids, that may be anything. Okay, the solids that may be anything, they all are allowed to settle down. So in the sedimentation tank, it is the water. Just consider the water. What is this? These all are the solids of that water. It is the water, right? And these all are the solids. When we left the water untouched for some time, what happens? All the solids will settle down for some time only. Okay, so that after the separation of all the solids from the sedimentation tank, then that water is moved towards the second tank. That name is known as the loading tank, right? The water from the sedimentation tank is taken to the loading tank. What is the function of the loading tank? To sediment the suspended impurities. Sedimentation tank settle down the solids. The loading tank that sediments again, that will settle down the suspended impurities. Like which are suspended impurities? Dust is a suspended impurity, sand is a suspended impurity. Those all are suspended impurities. They are again made to settle down. Here the solids will settle down. Here the suspended impurities will settle down. Like you take the sand from the outside. When you add the sand in the water, suddenly some of the solids will settle down. Okay, the small the sand, they will settle down, but some of them remain in the water only. That is a powder form of the sand. That is called suspended. Okay, right? The suspended sand is settled down in the second tank known as the loading tank, right? From the loading tank, maximum all the impurities be removed, right? Then the water is taken into the third tank known as the filtration tank. We know what is mean the filtration. The filtration is simple. We are filtering the water now, right? The filtration tank has the 3 layers. Remember, The filtration tank has the three layers. Before entering the water only, it is covered by the three layers.